Hey my dudes, how's it hanging? It's your boy ZNF1 here. So today I thought I'd do a little video on how to make 3 different types of shelters with just a tarp and rope and then things, you find out there in nature. But with that being said, before we go ahead and get into that, let's cue intro. Alrighty, so the first structure that I'm going to teach you guys is the A-frame shelter. Very classic one. What you do, once you got all your Ridgeline set up, you go ahead and put that tarp on. And then since, me personally, I kind of want my A-frame to be more horizontal to cover me from this direction, or like above from side angle, or like one that matches the length of my body from horizontal direction. I mean, obviously sometimes you probably have to change it up depending on like wind and everything like that too, and like weather conditions, because having it set up a different way might be more beneficial to you if you're doing like vertical or something, but let's go and do this real quick. Another quick tip, whenever you're setting up your Ridgeline or like your top like holding line for your floor, do a pluck test, or some people call it a guitar test. So you pluck the string back, see, make sure it's not too loose. If it's too loose, your structure can be more likely to fall. Once you got that all done and set up, the next thing you want to do is take your stake and tie a knot with a piece of paracord. I'd say about anywhere between like 2 to 3 feet roughly, depending on the structure. For this case here, 2 to 3 feet should be fine at the most for it. That way you got enough slack and everything to make it nice and tight, but not too short that's gonna like not be sturdy enough. What I do is I sit there and feed the paracord through the hole or the loop you got on the tarp and make your knot. I'm going to do a no tie knot here because it's really good and makes things really simple and easy for me, but it's also very tight and makes it work really well, or it's just a very good knot. Cinch that up. Put the stake in the ground, and then you do that 3 more times. You're not really going to have anything underneath for this shelter, unfortunately, unless you get, you just want in general. But it's really helpful to either get some like grass, dead grass, and lay it as like a piece of flooring, or have like another tarp or like a pad or something to throw underneath, that way you have a nice little pad to lay on. You're not just laying on the hard ground or whatever. And, you got a decent amount of shelter from quite a few weather conditions. Obviously, you're going to have 2 sides that are unfortunately not covered. And that's just kind of how it goes with that. This is really good for like a quick setup because it takes less than 5 minutes really.
yeah, like it's just nice and simple and good in case you need for like a quick shelter or anything like that. It's really good in like fair conditions as well too. But yeah. Next we have the Ridgeline lean. This is really good for, you know, if you want to get decent protection and the solid roof that's going to, you know, be able to keep stuff off of you and like falling away from you. But we'll go ahead and show you how to put this together. For this one, you only need about 4 stakes, a Ridgeline, and like 2 to 4 poles, if anything, or, you know, trees.
What you want to do is, you know, get your tarp and make sure it's like the longer side vertical to the ridge line, so just crossing it instead of going along with it. And toss it over to like a quarter or like a sixth of, well, anywhere between like a quarter to a sixth of the like tarp end is over the ridge line. Then, you know, once you got that done, what you do next is you put your stakes on the ground on the longer side to give it that leaning sort of structure. Next thing you want to do is, you know, tie some paracord or string, rope, whatever you got, to one of the front ends that's hanging over the ridge line of the smaller end of the tarp, and then tie it to your tree or like the poles you have.
Alrighty, so the next one we're going to do is something called the Lion Wedge, and you guys will kind of see in a second exactly why it is called the sea line. It has to do with like the structure and all that fun stuff.
First off, start off by making your own little floor. It's really good to get a 10 by 10 tarp and stuff like that for these things, because generally 10 by 10 covers most of the thing. If you want more room, like a 12 by 12 would be extremely good. And this is like an 8 by 8 or like 6 by 6 or something like that. So I just used what I had, but I mean, it gets the job done, you know. Those would be my recommendations to make things a little bit easier for you, though.
So you stake your stakes in the ground.
After making your own little floor, you know. What you do next is you grab your tarp and fold it over the ridge line.
Alright, so your boy's a little stupid sometimes. I forgot I had to adjust this prior, so like that way it actually worked, because the size of the tarp I have for a 10 by 10, the standard like that I made before, about like 4 feet, you know, actually it's like 3 to 5 feet or something like that for the sea wedge, like Ridgeline shelter. It has to be a little bit smaller, especially the way I'm trying to do it. Next thing you do,
after you get the stake or your floor made and staked down and everything like that, and you get the tarp over the ridge line, what you do next is you get your other stakes after that, and then pull the tarp over to make a sort of triangular prism. And you can either like stake it down next to the holes you already made, depending on how thick the stakes are. That, or you just use your line that you already have prior, attach to the stakes, and you just stake it in the ground. Repeat with the other one.
And mind you, this might not necessarily be the most comfortable, and that's due to like room and everything like that, but it'll do. You're covered on, most of your sides. You just have 2 openings on the side, so you might get hit a little bit, but this is a pretty good like 3-season shelter, if not arguably all weather. But there's ones that are way better for wintertime. It'll do decently because you're covered on most of your sides, but still got the gigantic holes on the 2 sides. So, but it's not too bad, to be honest with you. Like, I could fall asleep like this. So, you got yourself 3 good structures to use in case of emergency with tarp and some rope. Okay, so that's going to be it for us today. If you guys did enjoy, please don't forget to, like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me whenever you guys do this, and helps show me while you're enjoying them, putting it out there for you. Now, with that being said, if you guys don't already know, I do stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 8:30, 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Have some fire-ass memes pop up on there, have just good chill time, all that fun stuff. Don't forget to, live long, prosper, take care, and peace, and then keep it 1,000,000% real, you guys. I'll see you guys on the flip side.